So many people online spend so much time trying to come up with theories, redoing things in here to kind of come up with different ways to figure out what was going to happen, what it's about, and like, really, there's no spoilers, because, this is a MonsterVerse movie, but I thought I'd throw mine into the hat, which is, don't forget, kids, that gorilla spelled backwards is Aileron! Godzilla Cross Kong, The New Empire, is directed by Alan Wingard once again. He's the same guy who directed Godzilla vs. Kong, and this movie kind of picks up some time after that with a new storyline and some returning characters, and of course, our two kaiju, but in a new way. Following the events of Godzilla vs. Kong, Monarch is monitoring all of these kaiju. Godzilla still is protecting Earth, while Middle-earth is ruled by Kong. However, when a new villain in the Scar King arises, and the whole world is under threat of complete annihilation, and a secret is uncovered, everything will change. Talking about Godzilla Cross Kong is such a unique thing because, in a sense, I'm supposed to talk about this movie, how good it is, how bad it is, but also, I was acutely aware going in of what kind of a film I was going to get. My expectations were not to get a Godzilla -1 or Shin Godzilla movie. I was expecting, a movie that doesn't really have much story. It's going to be outlandish, insane, stupid, but has some really good fights. And for that, it delivered, but it still let me down in some aspects. I will start with the positives right off the bat. This movie is so inherently dumb. This movie is dumb as all get out. Like, the movie opens with Johnny Cash singing, "Welcome to my world," and you see all these creatures flying his gongs, just hunting, and he's running away, and his butt's jiggling and screams like, "Move, I can't see past your bodacious, beautiful booty there." And then, while all that's happening, it pops up somewhere in Middle-earth, and I audibly laughed in the theater. I audibly laughed several times in this movie at things that were not jokes. Like, in the movie, there's a scene where Kong is with that baby gorilla, and these other gorillas are trying to fight him, and he picks the kid up by the leg and just starts smashing the other gorillas with the kid, and shakes the kid and just chucks him at the other gorilla, and the guy gets knocked out. It was hysterical to watch. There's a scene in here where Godzilla and Kong are having a conversation. They kind of put out a leak scene they put out, and Godzilla suplexes Kong off of a pyramid. And that was all I needed to know, that this was going to be the best movie I'd ever seen in my life. But honest, that's what I was expecting. That's what I wanted. That's what I got. Huge monster action. The fight in the end between Shimu and Scar King and Godzilla and Kong, where they both go on slow motion at each other before they collide. Epic stuff. There's a zero gravity fight. There's this entire sequence where Kong finds this civilization underground, and it's him and these other apes and that kid ape, and it's 10 to 15 minutes of no actual dialogue, but they convey the entire conversation they're having with each other despite all of that, and it's done so incredibly well, and I was so just locked in. It was great to watch. That was some good stuff, which also proved we don't need humans in these movies. And talking about the humans, let me just get this out of the way. Trapper, whatever his name is, that Australian guy, is the only good human in this movie and the only one I cared about. He is hilarious. He has some good lines in here. He keeps things going. He seems like the one who's really invested and was having the most fun in the movie. And in general, I just like his character and personality. But his character still does really crazy things. At one point, this movie is so aware of how stupid it is. They're coming to this dumb plan at the end, and he's just like, "Hey, well, we're throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Can I go do this one plan I have?" And then the lady's like, "Well, we're just going to round up these people here," because they find a civilization that's underground, which is like that little girl who's deaf and stuff. They find her people, but they live underground that communicate telepathically and stuff, basically. And they're down there, because that's where Kong is in Middle-earth. And he's like, "Oh, no, my plan is so much weirder than what you're expecting." And when you see his plan, it in fact is weirder than what you thought it was going to be. Another thing that just leans into the silliness and stupidness is how Godzilla, first of all, is on demon time this whole movie. He's not really in the movie that much, but when he's kind of I would compare his screen time to Superman in Snyder Cut. He comes in the end for the big fight and does some damage, but up to then he has some time, but not a lot. But he's on demon time. He's just wiping up the floor with just kaiju this whole movie so incredibly easily, because he's trying to get into this new form to recharge for this upcoming threat, and Godzilla's just wiping people out left and right, and I love Godzilla in this movie. He's really well done. Kong is really good at being this. They get to his soul and his personality, but Godzilla gets to just kick butt, and I was here for it. But Godzilla goes to Rome, destroys the entire city to rubble. This whole movie, the collateral damage makes Man of Steel look minuscule. entire cities are leveled this movie, like 6 of them. And the funny thing is, every time it cuts to another city, no one's like hiding, like, oh, we heard 4 cities were destroyed. People are just on the beach or something. And the best part of all of that is that you see Godzilla destroy a city fighting a kaiju, and they say, lucky for us, Godzilla's fighting on our side. Even like 2 million people just died in the process. Another thing that leads into the silliness of this movie, Kong like goes to eat and he goes, ooh, and he's got like this infected toothache, and they have this giant robot thing when he comes from the port of the guy. Well, we got to remove his tooth and do this whole dentist thing before Godzilla finds out and tries to kick his butt, and it's so stupid. The human storyline, though, is utterly dumb. I will say, when they got to the second act where they found that society, that was kind of an intriguing premise, but everything else aside from that and Trapper just kind of sucked. I didn't really care. It was all boring. It was melodramatic, and I was just like, cut away. There's like a scene, it's so cheesy, this movie, where they're like, we're going to Middle Earth, and it cuts down in slow motion, like, and there's like needle drops the whole movie of 80s songs. It's so incredibly dumb, but beautiful at the exact same time. Like, it was kind of what I expected and was kind of hoping for, in a sense. Kid Gorilla Kong in here is like, alright. I was worried he'd be annoying. He wasn't. He was alright. I do like how colorful this movie is. It's very bright and vibrant to look at, even though it does look a lot like you're just looking at CGI. Like, you're very aware of it. And one problem I really have with this movie, it's my biggest issue, is the scale and size. I feel like Gareth Edwards, when he made the original Godzilla for this universe, really understood how to make Godzilla look big. I don't feel like they ever feel big in here. They kind of just feel like characters and creatures. There's no real great scale. They try it. I see them try it here. They have the Roman Colosseum and the pyramids. But I don't think it always necessarily quite works. It kind of sometimes just feels a little... And there's like things that just are logical things that don't make sense. Like the little deaf girl's like getting visions, and at one point she's in school and she just starts scribbling all over her entire desk, like colors in like this entire graph chart thing, and her pencil like never ran out of lead during all of that. And that was like a minuscule thing to pick on. It's not saying you should worry about these movies, but it's just something that was in my brain the entire time. Plus, like, every place you go to in here has a title card pop up and explain it. It's a little ridiculous, to say the least, but like I said, it delivers on the monster fights, it delivers on all that, and Godzilla basically like just destroys everyone who gets in his path, which is awesome. And then we got Kong over here, basically it's the Infinity Gauntlet. The dialogue in here is just tragically bad, but all of that aside, I had a fun time. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I enjoyed myself. I laughed out loud. I was cheering, whooping, and hollering. It was fun. There were kids in my theater. My brother went with me. We had a great time. This is a movie I totally recommend. See it in a theater. This is a theater movie. It's a unique experience. It's fun. It's stupid. It makes you feel good inside. It's the kind of movies I think we need more of right now. It's just something to be alright, because I didn't need this to be more. I didn't want it to be more. And would I have preferred a great movie? Yes, but I think I was satisfied with what I got. So I'm going to totally recommend this film to you to see it in the biggest screen you can and enjoy the tag team match of the year. I'm going to give Godzilla Cross Kong, The New Empire, a 7 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you all next time.